Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 26th episode of the Die Laugh Love podcast. I have a feeling that tonight's episode is going to get us back to some basics. I've done these podcasts for quite a while, and I know that people hop in, hop out. I know that a lot of people don't watch every single one of them, and I have experienced a lot of wisdom and clarity and love from the world of spirit. And I operate with it every day. And I know a lot of people don't have that privilege. So tonight's episode is going to get us back to basics in a way. The first basic that I want to talk about is why I titled this podcast the Die Laugh Love podcast. Some of you know this. And the first reason is that it's kind of a play on that hokey wall decoration that you would see, Live, Laugh, Love. Well, I call it the Die, Laugh, Love podcast because I think we all need to remember that one day we will die. And while we're here, we have to laugh and love as much as possible. I am a big believer that while we're here in this world, we are a participant in the great vacation. This is a temporary place that we're supposed to enjoy ourselves. And when we go from here, we go back home. And our loved ones in spirit, our friends, our teachers, our parents, our pets, our friends, our in-laws, well, they're watching us on vacation. And most of us are being way too uptight, way too clenched up, way too full of misery for a lot of reasons. Most often feeling like we need to prove ourselves to the universe, like we're some sort of Cinderella. Well, I want to speak directly to that because this is a place where we are supposed to laugh, we are supposed to love, and I am a big believer in what I call vitamin joy. A lot of folks know that I'm all about that. And I call it vitamin joy for a reason because the world that we are here to experience fun and love in will hand us trauma and pain and turmoil and chaos, fear and worry. Those will all cross our doorsteps without us asking them inside. And I think it's really important that we pursue joy like a vitamin, because if we don't get enough vitamin C, we get sick. If we don't get enough joy, our heart grows bitter and jaded and judgy and bitchy. And that's not the way that we should be spending our vacation. So, what I'm going to ask everybody here to do is if you can hold on for the next hour and a half ish while I am channeling spirit, I am going to ask everybody to think of a little bit of vitamin joy in their life. Okay. Now, I won't be able to read everybody, and there's only a handful of spirits that can come through in this given time, but I know that they come through with that idea of joy and love and laughter. And I want to look up a poem really quickly because I have it here on my phone, and I try to come prepared with these types of readings. And I want to bring this to everybody here because if you've never heard this before, this is really important to consider, and it's going to kick off our readings. It's going to kick off the spirits that come forth. And I want to ask, and I want to make sure that you can think of some sort of vitamin joy that you participate in your life, something that brings you joy that you think other people might like. Now, one of the things that brings me joy is I really like walking and I really like looking for four-leaf clovers. Today I found number 327 and 328 for the year. I recently made something that's going to be announced in about a week's time, but I want to give you a sneak peek here, and I'm going to hold it up to the camera of what I made. I know you won't be able to see it, but it is a four-leaf clover in some eco-poxy. So this is epoxy made from plant sap, and I have a couple of tarot cards in there. So I have a pretty cool project coming along. So I like to walk, I like to be out in nature, and I like to create things. With that being said, remember your vitamin joy because I want us to share, and I want everybody to feel like they can chat with everyone. If something pops up that crosses your mind while somebody's speaking, feel free to throw it in the chat because for the next little bit, we are one big family. So, what I'm going to read is a poem called Desiderata. And I'm not sure if anybody has ever heard this poem, Desiderata, but Desiderata is a poem from 1927 by a gentleman named Max Ehrmann. And I have it here in my studio space as a poster. It's one that really changed my life when I first read it. So, I want to read it to you. And here we go. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. I'll encourage you to find that and maybe put it somewhere, like I put it in my phone, to review. It's spelled Desiderata. We're going to get into the spirit messages, and the way this works is I am going to start channeling our spirits, and then it's going to be a process of somebody waving their hands, unmuting themselves, saying, hey, this is my person. If you don't have your video on, I'm going to ask you to take your video and put it on, and I'm going to bring you up on Spotlight, and we're going to share this message. So here we go. First person that I have with me today has been with me since this morning. And this is why I have kind of gone back to basics. And that last sentence of that poem, "It is still a beautiful world," is very important. Locally in the North Country of New Hampshire, we have just borne witness to a really horrendous murder. We're looking at hundreds of people dead or missing in the floods in Texas. We have things all over the world. We still have slavery and all sorts of awful things going on all over the place. And we live in a really weird time where there is a lot of information to be available, so much information. And it's easy to become disenchanted. It's easy to become bitter and jaded. And it almost feels like we should maintain this level of bitterness and anger to help stem the tide. This man does not want this. And he's here to speak to, I believe, a daughter. This feels like he has daughters. This feels like he has grandkids. This man is talking about having a whole horde of people he's looking over. I'll give you the things that were important to him. I think he was a sugarer, somebody who made maple syrup. That's the first thing he showed me was maple syrup. I think he smoked, and I think he was a mechanic. If he was in the mechanic by trade, he tinkered. I'm smelling mechanic grease and tobacco smoke. He might have even smoked a pipe. He had a happy-go-lucky attitude. He was a very happy man in life. And he has a whole horde of people that he's looking out over. And the thing about these people and his family is that these people, or you specifically here, may feel like the family is cursed. I think there's a whole lot of bad things going on in the family that he wants to speak to. He's a very down to earth person. So if this sounds like somebody that's here with this person, unmute yourself or wave, and I will encourage you to unmute yourself. But he is here to speak to the entire family. And when this recording goes live, when this comes up as a YouTube video or somewhere on a podcast platform, he needs you to take this and pass this on to the family members. So, a whole lot of people. Here's a couple of things that he's sharing with me. There might be, I hate this word, but I got to use it. There might be, I'm hearing the word Karen. I think there's angry women in your family. There might actually be like somebody named Karen as a sister, or you might have women that are bitter and jaded in your family. He's talking about a whole horde of people that he's watching over. Don't get caught up on this being your father. This might be, you might be a grandchild to this person, but happy go lucky energy. You're going to have a whole lot of people in your family where things are going wrong, and he wants to speak to what feels like a curse. Here is some awkward silence. So we're going to fill this up as either people unmute themselves or wave so I can help to unmute you. I'm really smelling some. Hi,
Hi.
is it is it Chloe or Chloe? How do
Well,
I pronounce
this
your name,
this
please?
is Chloe, but I'm Heather.
Hi, Heather.
How are you?
Very well, very well. Does this sound like somebody in your family?
This could be my father. The sugaring thing kind of threw me off, but he's from Canada. He was from Canada, so the maple and there's like we have a very large family dynamic. So I'm not
Okay.
sure. I'm not sure.
No, 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 no. So it's funny because when I was looking for images this morning to talk about this, I used like a maple syrup bucket dripping, but the first thing that I was going to go for was a maple leaf. So spirit speaks to me in symbols. So can I ask you, did he smoke? Because I'm really smelling that
Yes,
tobacco.
yes. And he snuck
Okay.
it.
And he what? He snuck
He
it?
snuck it, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Was he a happy-go-lucky person?
Very much so. Joked all the
Okay.
time. Like, yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be for you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you up on like on Spotlight, okay? Which means you're going to like pop up really big on the screen here for a moment, and I'm going to join you, and you and I are going to talk side by side for a moment. So let me do that, and we
Okay.
are going to get right to this. Okay, there you are, Spotlight. Okay, here I am right next to you. Here we are. This is why I always encourage people to watch these on YouTube because we get so much more out of our face. Okay, so what he's talking about, and this is really important, is like, I don't like to use this word, but I have to use this word because this is the one he's giving me. Does the family, or have you ever thought about the family being cursed? Is there a lot of people that are like, things going wrong? Everybody's like having bad things go on.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So here's where we're going back to basics.
Mhm.
Okay. So there's a real challenge for this spirit and a lot of our spirits to watch us from the world of spirit because the I don't know if irony is the right word here, but what he's looking at are competent people, like people that are intelligent, people that like can figure stuff out. But I think through circumstance or trauma or pain or programming, they feel like they don't deserve the good things. Essentially, what happens is, and don't take this personally, he's looking at a family full of hypocrites.
Hmm.
Because if everybody did for themselves what they would want their loved ones to do, everybody would be at peace. Now, can I ask you, do you have sisters?
I have one.
You have one. Okay. Do you have like angry? Is she angry? Are there angry people?
Right. She's actually going through a lot right now in her personal marriage life. So she is
Okay.
very
She's angry. Okay. I'm not judging the anger.
no,
Okay.
no, no.
Because there's a lot
Yep,
of righteous
absolutely.
anger. Okay.
Mhm.
So here's something that I want to talk about because this is important. So I'm gonna plug this because this is kind of like a big part of my life's work. Um, a couple months ago, I released this book, The Secret to Life Ain't So Secret, but I'll give you a spoiler. Here's the secret to life. The secret to life is the answer to the question, what would I tell my kid?
Hmm.
Now, take this to your sister, please, or share this with her, okay? Because let's say that she's angry and there's things going on. It's funny because he's watching everybody in this family, I believe, also including you, Heather, are being led by their trauma, being led by fear. They're not being led by their spirit. And he wants people to be led by their heart. So, for instance, whatever's going on in your sister's marriage, to a certain degree, anger, what have you, she very well could be blaming herself for a lot there.
Hmm.
Now, if she is, she's also a person who would not want you or her kids or her best friend to blame themselves if they were in the same scenario, correct?
Hmm.
Okay. You guys are not cursed. The family isn't cursed. You're just not leading with love for yourself.
Hmm.
So, I always ask people this question, and this is funny because you said her name was Chloe.
Yeah.
Hi, Chloe. Okay. Chloe, your mom is a golden girl. This is
This isn't,
funny.
so her
Oh,
mom isn't who, she's technically not my niece. So her mom isn't the one I'm talking about.
oh no, 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 no. I'm sorry. I thought you said Chloe was your daughter.
No, she's my niece.
She's your niece. Okay, okay, okay. So, Chloe, your aunt is a golden girl. Heather, he's talking about you. Like he's talking about you. So, as I have these candles here going with the golden girls, he's saying that you are like them. Funny, vivacious, like all the things that the golden girls are.
Mhm.
Kind of a nitwit in all the good ways. You know what I mean? Like
See
sort
that?
of fun, all of that. Again, don't feel judged
No.
by that because he's with you. So he keeps giving me the smell of smoke. You have to pay attention to that smell. Okay.
He
Because
was actually an oil burner technician as well. So he smelled like smoke all the time, like soot and smoke.
okay, so that's remember when I said like mechanic grease, you know what I mean? Like I'm still in the
Mhm. And
grease,
then he
all of
had,
that stuff. So
yep. And he was a mechanic in the Air Force too when he was young.
yeah, 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 yeah. So like all of those smells for me, that determines what they did and how they were, all of that. So the smoke for you, you have to know that when you smell that, he's trying to get through to you. He's with you. Okay. He's
Mhm.
with you. What else here? um, shoulder, like shoulder pain, massage, any sort of thing in your neck. Like he's bringing my attention right here to your neck. If there's anything that's going on with you in terms of, like, I just think that you deserve yourself like a massage.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
You need to swim, but be careful of pools, like not too much chlorine. I don't think chlorine is healthy for you. If you can find a salt pool or go swimming naturally, that would be good. He put those two things together. So neck pain or shoulder pain and swimming might be a good exercise to strengthen that part. Okay. Now, are you an example for others in the way to stand up for yourself? Hear me out on this. Look at your past. Are you an example for others and how to stand up for yourself? Chloe is nodding yes. Okay. So here's
I think
here's
so.
something that I need you to look at in terms of your past. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know what kind of boundaries that you have had with people, but he's very impressed with the sort of boundaries that you've held around yourself, in the way that you wouldn't let people treat you like a doormat, in the way that you wouldn't let people take advantage of you. Um, he says you've got that right. So
Mhm.
he's watching you take care of his daughter, and that's an important part. But here is what else is really important: that happy go lucky attitude of his.
Mhm.
He very much wants that for his family. He wants that for his people because, and this is just an important thing because they're going to come through with these messages for everybody. We cannot control what happens to us, we can control how we react to it.
Mhm.
We cannot control what happens to us, we can control how we react to it. When I talk about the murder that happened locally, when I talk about the flooding that happened in Texas, I don't think it's fair to disassociate from it or to turn away from it. And I don't think it's fair to, just be happy about things all the time. We have to process our feelings and it's okay to process them, but we cannot allow them to consume us. Now, he's talking about having some awful shit happen to him while he was alive. He had some awful shit happen to him while he was alive. So, what he's saying is that that never dampened his spirit, that never dampened his spirit.
100%.
Okay.
Mhm.
That is an example for how people in this family should be getting through. So for your sister, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I don't want I can't compare apples to oranges, but whatever your sister's going through, he's saying it wasn't like what he went through.
Hmm.
Like he went through bigger things and
Oh yeah.
he kept his spirit happy.
Mhm.
Okay. She should be able to take his example and just let it roll off her back like a duck. Okay. Now, Chloe, because Chloe is loved by you, he would love this young woman.
He raised
Okay.
her.
Now he raised her. Okay. So Chloe, here's an interesting thing for you. Um, please take everything that I say with a grain of salt. I'm getting the feeling that he needs you to go back to school. Okay. And like what he's talking about, please hear me. What he's talking about is consider nursing, something like that.
Wants to do.
I was just complaining about that like 2 days ago or yesterday.
She wants to be a nurse.
Okay. Like he's bringing my attention to you and just saying like, it's funny because they'll speak in my language too, but I'm kind of like hearing like hip hop music about like make the money, like make the money. Like he wants you to make some money. Okay. So it
That,
will.
that's
Chloe,
Usually
can I ask you
right together.
they listen to Drake together.
Oh,
how old are you?
I'm 16.
16. Okay. So okay, this makes sense with what he's saying. You've got to understand it's going to take a little bit of work. It's not going to fall in your lap. You know what I mean? Like nursing, what have you, you'd make an excellent nurse. I think that you have a high degree of empathy. You know how to like feel like what other people feel, and you can take an example from Heather and not become a doormat to that, not let people walk all over you. He wants to see you excel. He wants to see you excel. He wants to see you be independent like you want to be. You don't want to be taken care of by anybody. You don't want other people to be like, you don't want people to like, you don't want other people to take care of you. You want to be able to take care of yourself. And he says that he sees that streak of independence in you. Interestingly, he just said to me, "You're like your mother in that way. Your mother must be independent in a certain way." He's
I
saying that you're like your mom in that way.
100% I can see that. Yeah.
Okay. Um, Chloe, oh my gosh, are you not feeding yourself well? Do you not eat well?
I mean, I eat a lot of junk food.
Okay, well, he's saying that you go like he's talking about you speaking up for yourself. Like you should be able to speak up for yourself, but he's like you have two speeds. Either you're really really quiet, you don't say anything, or you're like bitchy, like rah, like rah, and that almost feels like a hangriness to me.
Yeah,
Like I'm either really quiet and passive, or I'm like lashing out and bitching at everything. Well, he's saying that you can say what you need to say, but you don't. You should consider having more gears than one and two. Like, quiet or like rah loud. He says he sees you shoulder the pain that you don't talk to anybody about. He says he sees you shoulder the pain that you don't talk to anybody about. And here's something that he wants you to do. Um, can I ask you, like, he's showing me like a round path, like a path that goes in a circle. Like, is there like he's showing me like pine trees, like the evergreen trees in the center of this, and like there's a walkway around it. Like you go take a walk. I don't know if it's a bike path or like a cul-de-sac or something that's round, but you go take a walk and go talk to him. Okay, like get it off your chest because there are things you're not sharing with even the closest people to you.
Yeah.
So
Everybody does.
he he wants you to get it off your chest, like to know that he's always there. Okay. Um, Also, I think you have a food allergy. Oh, it's funny that you're scratching. You think you have a food allergy because he says he's like seeing you itch. I don't know if you got like psoriasis or eczema or like something like that.
you don't know. That
No, I don't think it's, I don't.
could be made fun of me ago.
Oh, could be. She
Oh,
she does early childhood development in school, and she caught ringworm last school year.
Okay. So here's something to consider. There might be like a sugar or something, like if you're eating too much sugar, it might be keeping that fungus alive.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
like that.
So, like, not a medical provider, can't provide medical advice, but consider apple cider vinegar. I just got the taste of that. I just saw that. I think drinking a little bit of diluted apple cider vinegar, getting that into your system, you might want to look up if that's connected, if those two things are connected. Okay. He wants to see all the degrees hung on your wall. Like like and like this isn't like big $250,000 in debt for college degrees. You know what I mean? This is like the nursing thing. I'm going back to the nursing thing. Okay. Now, oh, Heather. um, Heather. Okay. How do I say this to you?
just say it's all
He needs you. Well, I'm just going to say it. He needs you to take care of yourself. Okay. And what I mean by that is to not avoid your hospital trips, like your yearly checkups, things like that. He needs you to like go get
Mhm.
everything, like all of that. Um, I don't know what this means, but he says he doesn't want to see you end up like your mom.
Yeah, that's my mother was very sick for the last 20 years of her life, so
Okay, so to take care of yourself,
mhm.
to do all of that. But here's the thing. Um, okay, so I think that you have Chloe in your life. You guys are like friends. You love each other, family, but you're also peers. Chloe's growing up to be, a young woman, all of that. He's giving you a saying, and he wants you to use this because he says that you guys can oftentimes be like Eeyore when he wants you to be like Tigger or Winnie the Pooh.
Mhm.
Okay. Here's the expression that he wants you to use for one another. Chloe, when you see Heather like down in the dumps a little bit about stuff, or Heather, when you see Chloe down in the dumps about things a little bit, chin up, Buttercup. That's what he's saying to me. Chin up, Buttercup. Chin up, Buttercup is the saying that you now take and you use that even for yourselves. If you find yourselves mopey and down in the dumps about things that you really can't control, chin up, Buttercup. And here's the other part that I need to share with you, and this is so goddamn important to the work that I do. You guys want this gentleman to rest in peace, right? You have to live in peace.
Very true.
Like, everybody thinks that we just die and we go somewhere and we're like at peace. Well, we don't have our bodies anymore, so whatever physical ailments hurt us, we don't have those, but we grow closer to our loved ones' hearts. And that's what I mean about going back to basics. And this is something everybody needs to hear. A lot of people in this world keep themselves in a place of misery because they feel they don't deserve it, they don't deserve anything better, they feel like they need to prove themselves to the universe. But I take care of myself like it's my religion, and I keep myself at peace because I have a grandmother in spirit that I want to rest in peace, and I want to make sure that her grandson's at peace. So I focus on my peace, knowing that it's her peace as well. Now, Heather, please bring this to your sister.
I
Okay?
definitely.
Anybody in the family that can benefit from this message, here are those things that you need to hear. All right.
Mhm.
Your peace is their peace. How do we find peace? By doing what we would want a child to do, doing what we would want a sister or a best friend to do. And if your sister is blaming herself in ways that she would never want another human being to blame herself, okay, she needs to chin up,
Peanut
Buttercup.
butter.
Chin up, Buttercup. Okay, because he's rooting for her. She may not feel it. She may feel isolated and cursed or what have you. But we live in a 3D world with random circumstance and variables. Sometimes things are not going to work out, but it's how we walk through the storm that determines how wet we get. Okay. So, Chloe, nursing school, remember that. If that's something that you're feeling, get pulled to it. Apple cider vinegar for you. Okay. Don't be a bitch.
Mhm.
Don't be a bitch, Chloe. Okay.
Love
Like, don't
you.
be a bitch. Speak your mind, but don't be a bitch. All right. Have to take care of yourself. Don't end up like your mother. All right.
Thank you.
And talk to him as well. All right. Actually, it's funny. He says talk to him in the car, but you're already distracted and you drive too fast. Um, so slow it down a little bit and talk to him when you go for drives. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Take care of yourselves. I've got the next spirit here. So here we go. All right. I'm going to mute you, take you off spotlight, and I'm going to start with the next one. Here we are. All right. I was not expecting this. I'm going to take a sip of water to dive into it, but okay. I know this is going to sound strange for people who have not seen this before, but I feel like I have a cat here. Okay. Like I feel like I have a cat here. All right. So I'm going to give you the name that I'm feeling or hearing. And I don't know if this is somebody's cat here or there's a name like this. Has anybody ever had a cat named Murphy? Murphy. Okay. Now maybe there's a Murphy in the family. I don't get names like that, but it's okay. He feels like an orange cat, like a tiger cat, like a tiger cat. He feels like he's zoomy. He had the zoomies. You might have thought something was wrong with him. Like like if he wasn't like how do I say, kind of like right in the head. Very important. He might have had like an ear thing, like vertigo or like ear mites or something, because I feel like my head tilting to the side. This would have been like a cuddle cat, like somebody who got up on your bed with you. Um, I don't know why I'm hearing Murphy. Maybe you somebody's last name is Murphy or Murphy's oil soap, something to that degree. Um, okay, so I see somebody with their hand up. All right, so I'm gonna ask to unmute you. Hello. Oh,
1 second.
there we go.
All right, I'm here. Tap to unmute. All right, here we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So, I had an orange cat. His name was Alfie. He was an orange tabby. Um, he had dementia later in his years. I had to put him down at 19, and he was very, very cuddly. I was just telling a friend of mine how he would let me pick him up and hold him for hours if I let him.
Okay, so not Murphy, but Alfie.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the two syllables and fee here. Okay,
Hmm.
so give me your name, please.
Lisa.
All right, so Lisa, I'm going to bring you up on Spotlight because this is for you. Okay, so here's something that I need you to know, and this is for remember, everybody should be getting something out of these readings. Remember how I said like it felt like something was wrong with him, and you said it was dementia? Okay,
Yes.
like I feel like my head's tilted to the side. He's kind of showing me like something's wrong. He was very cuddly. The first and foremost reason why this cat would be able to come through to me right now is to show and to remind everybody that our pets are still with us.
Mm.
They're still with us. They are not human souls, but they are souls nonetheless. And when I speak to spirit, okay, when I speak to spirit, I am translating feeling. And that's the universal language, feeling. And then it's the rational part of my mind that kicks in and translates the other stuff. Um, it's funny because I feel like he also had something wrong with him. He's talking about stuff in his bones. Did you know about like frail bones or anything like that, like an osteoporosis or an arthritis?
He, mm, yeah, I think he did. He actually did. And ultimately, what got him is kidney failure. But he did have bone
Okay.
pain and arthritis.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Lisa, do you have a sister?
Yes, I have two.
Okay, hold on. One of them's an absolute bitch. Okay. No. This is what he's telling me. And I want to tell you how cats and animals see the world. And this is important. If this cat was still alive and say this woman was in your house, this is what will happen. They will recognize the sound off of somebody's energetic signature. So for animals, when they're alive, we kind of look like colors.
Hmm.
I think they can see our auras. One, okay. Two, when we go through something emotional, our auras or our colors change. Okay. So
Mhm.
if this person was with you and he was still alive, you would have an interaction with her. Your color would change, your auric field would
Yeah.
change based on your reaction with her, your interaction with her,
Mhm.
and he would piss in her shoes. No, 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 you have to
Oh, oh,
hear me.
oh.
Like there's
Okay, got
somebody
it.
that is so toxic is the human word that I get. Like toxic is the word that if he had like the way your emotions change color. Now this is the other thing. I think animals in that way are closer to how spirits perceive us. Spirits can see, I think, how our auric field or our emotions change in that auric field that we put off. And you're having interactions with somebody, feels like a sister, who, if he was here and he could piss in her boots, he would piss in her boots. Okay. So, do you remember how I was talking to Chloe about, you know, you're either really quiet and passive and a doormat or you're like, wow, Godzilla? Okay.
Mhm.
And there's that wisdom there that there's another gear that we can take. You can you can speak your mind in a way that doesn't increase conflict. Okay. And this is about, again, back to basics. Uh, this is human psychology, but they're going to have access to everything in my head when they go through me. So the human psychology of this would be make I statements, not you statements. So this person is going to be very
Mhm.
defensive. Like I feel or I believe as soon as you start to say you did this or you do this or
Mhm.
anything like that, you can't do that because that person's going to get very defensive. Your best bet is to like mm, you can't take this person out of your life. You have to be able to kill her with kindness or
Mhm.
oh okay, hold on one second. It feels like she might even have a little bit of energy vampirism going on, like an
Mhm.
energy vampire draining you through emotional
Oh yeah.
manipulation, all of that
Yep.
stuff. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So the secret weapon is I statements and kill her with kindness. Like, oh, I completely get it. I totally understand. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your wisdom. Like it will come off a little bit condescending, but it's going to be that defensive way. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna because I don't think that you would be inauthentic like that, or like I don't think that you're. I think it's better for you to have those defense mechanisms. And weirdly, he's saying that kill her with kindness is in the same way as like pissing on her boots. There's something about
Mhm.
diminishing like her like her energy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because as soon as she can see she's getting to you or what have
Mhm.
you, it's going to increase and increase and increase. Okay. So here's the funny thing. He says he's with your dad. He says
Mhm.
he's with your dad. This cat's with your dad. So you have a
Mhm.
spirit group that's looking out over you. He wants you to make sure, like, and what he's also saying is that don't give up on the next big thing. Don't give up on the next big thing. He wants you to get your big thing. Whatever your next big chapter is, whatever the thing is that you want in this world, in the same way that Chloe has to go after nursing, you have to go after your next big thing. He wants you to go after your next big thing. He's rooting for you. Um, do you still do you still have those little catnip mice in the house but have no cats?
Oh, I have three cats. But the cat used to have, he used to love the catnip mice, but I do have three cats. I don't have those anymore.
Okay, okay. So you have cats but not the toys. Okay.
Mm,
You may want to get the other cats, those little catnip mice. They get the little tails. They're filled with catnip and they just ding them around places.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
He
okay.
used to love
It's
those.
funny. It's funny because in the same way that you got to have fun and not let the bastards grind you down, he wants those cats to have fun. So, like, well, this is hilarious that, a cat in spirit would be promoting drug use for the other cats in the house. That's funny to me. Okay.
That's
All right.
hilarious.
You did everything that you could for him. There was nothing else that you could do for him. Any guilt that you have around his passing, around putting him down, around his treatment is misplaced. So, like, let that fade from your heart. He says it's more important for you to protect yourself from your sister. Okay.
Mhm.
The other thing, too, and here's a funny thing. Dad says your right, sister's wrong. And this feels like it would be flipped in life, like the sister would be more of a favorite than you, but he's on your side and he, excuse me, he's seeing what the sister is putting you through. So
Okay.
just take that as, again, making sure that you're taking care of your father's daughter. Okay. So the cat is here for you. Alfie is here for you. And again, in that same way, they don't fade when our conversation stops. They're with you all the time. They are here. Okay. All right. So thank you, Lisa, for being here. This is so funny. Now he's gone like a cat. Like this is on his terms. Like here, gone. Here, go, like cats, everything on
That's a
their
cat.
terms, gone. All right. So much love to you. Remember the next big thing. Kill them with
Thank
kindness.
you.
Speak your mind. All of that good stuff. And catnip mice. Okay.
You got it.
And I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave you with this. Chin up, Buttercup. Okay. Chin up,
Thank
Buttercup.
you.
All right. You're welcome. We'll see you later. All right. Next one coming through here. All right. Next one coming through. Hmm. Okay. So listen, he's throwing a lot at me all at once, and I'm asking him to uh dial it back a little bit. Excuse me. Remember the like the Murphy was actually Alfie. Names not great for me when I do this. Um, the last time I channeled a Jack, what I thought was a Jack was like a James or a Jim. So I think that this is a J name. He should okay. Something to do with a train trestle, trains. I'm seeing the smokestack of train. I'm seeing like a train trestle, train tracks. He's also saying that he would have made fun of people. Like, do you guys know when people like I'm sort of like this if I'm hanging around anybody or like they're in my friend group or like family group or what have you, if I'm messing with them or joking with them, it means that I like them. Um, but if I don't do that to somebody, then they're probably not in my favor. This person was like that. They would have joked around and like poked and prodded and like had fun, not really at people's expense. They might have felt that way at times, but he meant it all in love. So this is oh wait, he's using the word jackass. So Jack, right? Jackass. He's calling himself like a jackass, but in a way that he made fun of people and had fun with people. Okay. I don't know if he worked on a train, lived next to a train trestle, but I just keep seeing the smokestacks. Okay. He's trying to talk to somebody here who he's trying to talk to somebody here. It looks like somebody here might have signed divorce papers. The divorce might have happened because okay, the divorce might have happened because of infidelity, unfaithfulness, something like that. What I'm hearing is this: he tried to pull the rug out from under you. You pulled the rug out from under him. So this is somebody who would have gone through a divorce and would have ended up on top. Okay, so the name was Jack, Jackass. Uh, train trestle. Like I'm seeing a train bridge. Like locally to me, there's a train bridge. I keep seeing it. Um, he just keeps. So I don't know if he lived near trains, worked on trains, had trains in the house, train fanatic, went to train museums. This feels a couple generations removed. This might be your grandfather, but he's watching how like you thought you were going to lose everything, but then something, I know this is personal that we're bringing up here, but something about how like you fought for yourself, you fought for his loved one. Um, you thought the world was getting pulled out from underneath you, the rug was getting pulled out from underneath you. You pulled the rug out from
Go
him.
in there, kill Miss T, and sneak out the back.
Okay.
No weapon or anything? She's a cat. I'm a dog.
So I just muted Eliza's iPhone. I don't know if she meant to unmute herself. Eliza, if that was you and you meant to do that, please put your video on for me and let me know this was you. But who here has gone through a divorce with somebody that was unfaithful?
Thanks again for having us over.
Me.
Zesty Italian? Oh, I just couldn't. Not this close to bedtime. You said you were.
It was
Hi,
me.
Eliza.
Yeah.
Hi. Could you put
Hi.
your video on for me?
Hold on.
I dropped my roll, which is not at all an invitation for Peter to have an under the table conference.
I'm not. What do I have to hit? Oh, okay. I got it. All right. Can you see me? No.
I'm going to click it again. I'm going to see if it'll work.
Okay. There I am. Can you see
Wave
me?
your hand for me because I'm looking. Wave your hand for me. Okay. Hi. There you are. Hi.
Hi.
So is it
Hi.
Alyssa or Eliza?
Elisa.
Elisa. Okay. Thank you for that. So, Elisa, do those pieces fit for you?
100%. Yes.
Okay. Who is this? Father, grandfather? Who is
That's
this for you?
my father-in-law, my ex-father-in-law.
Ah, okay. So I'm spotlighting you. I'm going to spotlight myself with you, and we're going to go side by side. Here we are. Okay. So this is interesting. So was this his son that did this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. There must have been love for you from him. He must have loved you like a daughter because that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We were very
Now,
close.
now, did he work on a train? What was the train thing about?
He was a train collector. He had the tracks down in his basement and built models, and he
Okay.
loved
Was he,
trains.
can I ask you, was his name Jack or was he a jackass?
He was a jackass. He was
He was a
never
jackass. Okay.
serious. Yeah.
Never serious. Okay.
Yep.
And his son, your husband, must have been unfaithful to you. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you thought that you were going to have the world ripped out from underneath you, but then can I ask you, and I know that this is like sensitive personal stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but did you take everything from him? Because that's like, like, this is like what he's cheering you on for. Like,
I
you
didn't
pulled the rug
take.
out from under him.
Well, I I got myself together, and I started my whole life with someone else. And we had two children, so the children came with me. He didn't
Okay.
really. That's what
So,
came. But as far as monetary, I might have at one point taken everything, but he built himself back up too.
okay.
There
But like,
wasn't much to
you,
take.
you made it like fair for you. And so this is not how he would have raised his son. Like, this is not how he would have raised his son.
You said it. Yes, exactly.
Okay. So this is a fascinating thing here because this man is with you, Elisa. He's with
Mm-hmm.
you. Like, he is one of those spirits that are watching out over you, loves you, cares for you. And you would have his grandchildren, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's another reason why he would be in this side of the family, looking out over the grandkids, looking out over you. But you're an example of somebody who would have made the best out of one of the worst scenarios.
I believe I did. I don't know how, but I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why he's telling me that he loves how you do Christmas. Like, Christmas must be very important to you. You must decorate, give presents, get people together, do all of that.
Yeah. It was his big holiday, and I've been celebrating it with my son lately at his house, which is his grandson.
Okay, so keeping the family together, taking care of him, all
Yeah.
of that. Now,
Yeah.
Elisa, can I ask you, um, Do you still have this other husband with you? Are you still with another person?
Yes.
Okay. Um,
You're picking
I,
up on it. Go ahead.
well, no, no, no. Like, so, um, it's it's not going to be what you think, but it's not going to be easy.
Right. It wasn't. Yeah.
No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
He's talking about it being in the future. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he's talking about things coming down the pipeline for you that is not going to be what you think, but it's not going to be easy. So I
Okay.
think there's a tendency for you to make or to make things bigger in your mind than they actually are. Okay, like
Okay.
there's a tendency for you to make things bigger in your mind than they actually are.
Okay.
You might be worried about a certain thing happening. Um, okay, so I'm just going to say it because I have to say the things that they give me.
Go ahead.
I don't believe that he's going to get Alzheimer's. Okay, like
Okay.
you might be worried about it or something
I
about it. He
am.
might have it in his
Yes.
family.
Yeah. Not in his family, but I am worried about that. Yes.
Okay. He's telling me it's not going to be that, but it's not going to be easy. So,
Okay.
Elisa, here's something that you have to know. And again, I don't do very much in the way of future work, but I have to bring this to you. I
Mm-hmm.
do believe that your current husband will transition to spirit before you.
I do
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Okay. Which means you have to take care of this man's daughter in law. You have to take care of your son's mother. It's interesting. He says that um, he's encouraging you to pray, but prayers for you. Okay. Like, pray for strength,
Wow.
pray for peace, pray for the strength to get through that transition. He says it's not going to be easy. But let me tell you why he would say that for you right now, because he's trying to prepare you. He's trying to get you to wrap your head around it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like he wants to help prepare you for the inevitable, it feels like. So
Yeah.
to make sure that you take care of yourself, keep your chin up, Buttercup, chin up,
Mm-hmm.
Buttercup, that whole thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So you are a person who believes in Jesus.
Yes. I
Okay.
am.
He's telling you, no, 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 no. He's encouraging you to pray to Jesus.
Okay.
Okay. So you
All
can
right.
pray to, you can pray to your ancestors, you can pray to your beloved dead, you can pray to the saints, you can pray to Jesus. So that prayer, that active prayer is for you. Now,
Okay.
like Elisa, yes, Elisa, that's how I
Yes,
say it.
Elisa.
Elisa,
Yep.
Lisa with an E.
Yep.
Elisa, okay, Elisa. We're sharing this for not just you, but for everybody else who will walk through the tough things. Okay, walk through the
Okay.
tough things, the hard things, where it feels like we're alone, where it feels like we don't have anybody to help shoulder the burden, where we feel like we're the only adult in the room. Um, can I ask you, was your current husband's father a military man?
No, his grandfather was. Um, my actually, I the person I married is actually Bob that you're talking to, his nephew.
Okay. What he's saying is that, so like, this is hard for me to say, and I just need to say it.
No,
When
go
this
ahead, say
person
it.
is in a bed, Elisa, when this person is in a bed passing, perhaps on hospice care or anything like that, I feel you holding on to his hand. Okay. Like, I feel you
Mm-hmm.
holding on to his hand. And as you're holding on to his hand, you're holding on to the ancestors that are with him.
Okay.
Okay. The ancestors that are with him. This is important for you to know, because there's something about that conduit, that physical touch, where if you hold onto his hand and you start to pray to whatever higher power you believe in, start to ask those ancestors, his and yours and what have you, to come through to help ease the burden for you, help ease the burden for that person. And if that person and this is an interesting part of like prayer itself. If that person, Lisa, is a spiritual or religious person, get them to pray for themselves. For
Yeah.
some reason,
So,
prayer is so much more powerful when we do it for ourselves than it is for other people.
okay. I don't know if he'll turn. He's not a believer. He doesn't have the faith like I do.
Funny what being on a hospice bed will do to a person, you know?
True. Right.
Funny what, you know, funny,
Yeah.
it's people shift and change when it comes to those sorts of things. Okay.
Wow.
Right. So, Elisa, um, wow, okay. D- I'm getting star on top of the Christmas tree. Star on top of the Christmas tree. Wants a star on top of the Christmas tree this year. Did you do a Christmas tree at home?
It's a little Christmas tree. Um, I'll make sure I put a star up. I'll put a tree up
Yeah,
this time.
like, and again, I don't know timing when it comes to this stuff, Elisa, but there's, like I'm 46. If I live until I'm 86, I only get 40 more Christmases. I'm gonna have a tree, every single one of them. You know what I mean? Like, how many
Right.
more Christmases are you going to have with your husband? That's the sort of question that we have to ask ourselves. So, Christmas tree, star on it, all of that good stuff. Okay.
All
Um,
right.
all my love to you. And in those
Thank you.
moments, pray to that, pray to Christ Jesus. Okay, if that's your thing. Okay, because
Mm-hmm.
he's out there. From my experience, he is out there.
He's
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Pray to your ancestors and beloved dead because they're with you too, especially this father-in-law who's very present in your life. Okay.
I'm glad to hear that. Really.
Okay.
He was
Uh,
tragically killed by a drunk
you
driver.
impress him. You impress him.
Oh.
Okay. It's like
All
that's what
right.
I'm hearing. Like you impress him. So the way that you stood up for yourself and took care of yourself, all of that, very important. Okay. That very important that that's recognized. Even though you might have felt guilty, like standing up for yourself for somebody who, did something awful to you. This is where that sort of absolution of any latent guilt would come through from his
Yes.
father-in-law or from his
Yes.
father, your father-in-law.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Okay.
also, his son is very sick also. Very close. I don't know if you get that either.
Um, they're
My
gonna,
ex son.
that's a process that they all take care of over there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they
Yeah.
they help get and they get ready, and death is birth in reverse. Death is
Yes.
birth in reverse.
I
So,
do believe
when
that.
we
Yep.
pass away, it's like being born again into the world of spirit. We get reunited with our loved ones, and there's an acclimation, healing, life review process that we go through. Just like it takes us a while to get on our feet here, takes us a little bit to get on our feet there, but
There.
we have
Mm-hmm.
help while we do that. Okay. All my love to you. Thank you for being here.
Thank
Star in
you.
the Christmas tree, all right? And don't forget, chin up Buttercup. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, all
You're
right.
very
Thank you.
welcome.
I'll remember
Take
that.
care of yourself. Okay, here we go. Next one. Okay. So this one, she's the next one coming through, she's great. She's funny. Um, she is funny. She's funny. She's vivacious. She's bombastic. It's interesting that Christmas was brought up in the last one. I'm hearing Christmas strudel. Does anybody make a Christmas strudel? Does anybody have a mom who made a Christmas strudel? You might not make it, but she's wanting you to make it. It's Christmas strudel. Okay. I know, Aaron, bombastic is a great word. This is what this woman is. So, this woman might have played cards or gambled, like casinoed. You might casino as well. She is full of love and full of fun. And this is funny because I don't know what a Christmas strudel is. I don't know I don't know. I'm hearing those words. I might not get this right, but I'm seeing what looks like a bunt cake, like a round cake, like a Danish almost Christmas thing. It would have been her thing. It's like a Christmas dessert, but she's wanting people to make it. This woman would have been full of life. Okay. Anybody wave your hand and I will unmute you, bring you up. can prompt the unmuting from this side if you wave your hand. But this is like she's full of life. This is Christmas memories. She needs you to like do the Christmas thing for her because she's seeing everybody be bland and boring. I know this is hard, but she's like, what is this dessert that she made? She's looking for you to make it with her. Bombastic, full of life, Christmas strudel, cards, gambling, those types of things. I don't think you've seen your sister in a long time. She wants you to get together with your sister. Um, anything like that. I'm literally seeing like a bundt cake, like a round cake with a hole in the center with the drizzle on top. I don't know if that's a Christmas strudel. Okay. Anybody wave your hand and I will unmute you. Her energy is very big. What I mean by that is I think she was bigger in person. Her energy was very big, like bigger in person. She might have been rounder or healthier in that way. She wouldn't have cared what people thought of her. She wouldn't have cared what she looked like. She was a lover of life. I feel like there is a recipe in a card box somewhere that somebody needs to dig out and somebody needs to make. This is important. Now, I don't know if she's ethnic to some degree, but she's starting to get upset. Like an Italian mom has a short fuse. She's starting to like go get it, say it. It's for you. Come get me. There's a recipe. Don't dishonor me. Take my recipe. Make it. Who here is not grabbing this woman? I see report cards, like you would have brought report cards to her. Can I, Elisa, you're messing around with your phone. Are you trying to unmute yourself? Are you trying to bring this back up to you? Is this somebody of yours? Did I mute you too soon? Get that somebody's, and I don't know if it's Elisa or somebody's just having a hard time with technology. So Elisa, give me a thumbs up if this is you, or a thumbs down if this is you. Give me a thumbs up if this is you, or a thumbs down if this is you. I'm sorry if this isn't you. If there's a recipe in a box, card box, she needs you to get it. She needs you to make it. Don't get stuck on Christmas. It might not even be a Christmas thing, but there's food, desserts, things that you need to make. She's getting angry, big bombastic energy. You might have gambled with one another. Um, Elisa, is this a person for you?
Yes, it's
Okay.
my, yeah, I have her recipe box. Yes.
Okay. Did she have big bombastic energy? Did she have big energy?
She was a very good person. Yes. Yes. In her younger years, she had a lot of energy.
Okay. Was there ever a bundt cake or a Christmas strudel, something that was round with a hole in it?
She was great for baking bundt cakes. I don't know why I didn't put that together. Yeah, I have a recipe box right here. There's a lot of
Okay.
bundt cakes.
Okay. So
Oh my
thank
gosh,
you
they're
for
not leaving you
thank you for
alone.
well, thank you for figuring. I know this stuff isn't the easiest to do on an iPhone or a cell phone. I know it's not the easiest to like technology is not the easiest to handle. Okay.
I'm
So
not great at it. Yeah. No.
no, that's okay. That's okay. Can I ask you, what's the card thing? The gambling thing, the card thing? Did she play cards?
Uh, I don't know if she played cards. I think she played bingo. A lot of bingo.
Okay, so that's like a gambling thing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yep. Yep.
gambling. Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Gambling,
Yeah.
bingo. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, My gosh. Okay. Elisa, are you I gotta ask you, are you going deaf in one ear?
I think so.
Okay, she's telling me that you need to get one of your ears checked, or maybe a hearing aid is appropriate for one ear over the other.
Well,
Okay.
I have a growth on my lymph node that I think is affecting my ear, and I am taking care of it. Yeah,
I love that. I love that.
yeah,
Okay, so this is
yeah.
good. Here's the thing with the bundt cake. Okay, um, please make them. Okay, um, please make them. Uh,
I will.
they're well. I'm sorry, but like
Yeah.
the energy that I'm getting from her is like very much like full of love, full of energy, full of
She
impatience.
was.
Like
Well,
like
she was my very good friend's mother, and my good friend passed away, and I was basically her closest one to her. And she lived in Florida, but we kept in contact until she passed. So it was a big thing for me. She left me in charge of her house, and I took her recipe box with the bun cakes.
okay, and she was known for bundt cakes, and she
Yeah,
gambled with bingo. Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay, okay. The
yeah.
other thing too. Is there a we're gonna skip over the bundt cake because I don't think that they make a mint bundt cake, but she's talking about you making something minty that you like mint flavored.
Mint flavored.
Is it even like a peppermint patty or like mint candy? What is it
Yes.
that you like? She wants you
It's,
to have what you like.
you're like, okay. It's a
Well,
homemade peppermint patties. Yes.
okay. I think that big message here is that I think that you've taken care of a lot of people over the course of your life. You have to
Yes.
consider taking care of yourself. This is very
Okay.
important. The
Okay.
other thing too, Elisa, you live in a place where it snows. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The reason why I say that is because she needs you to pay attention to your shoes, your feet, your walkways, your pathways, ice melt. Um, I don't know if you wear the appropriate shoes when it gets slippery out.
I
If you
don't.
do, you
I don't.
okay.
She acts like my mother. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
like it's one of
Yeah.
those things where the
Yeah.
1,000 foot view, they're looking at you with the 1,000 foot view. Um, Here's the thing too, and here's another message that she's reiterating to you. Things are not going to be easy for you.
Ah,
Okay.
here we
I'm
go.
sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wish I could give you another message than that. But
Yeah.
here's why she needs me to say this, because not all the time do we have easy paths, but when we walk through tough things, we have to take care of ourselves. Even if a peppermint patty helps you get through, okay?
Okay.
Even if a peppermint patty helps you get through a tough patch. But here's the other thing, too. While she says it's not going to be easy, that I wish the last third of your life everything was going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's not going to be. Things are might no, not might, things are going to get a little rough for you, but it's not going to be any rougher than the things that you've dealt with in your past.
Okay. That was preparing me, I guess. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
difference being is that when those rough things happened in the past, you were convinced that you didn't have to take care of yourself. You were convinced that you shouldn't take care of yourself,
Yeah.
but you need to.
Okay.
Now,
And I am. I got
good.
some
That
issues and
means
I'm taking care of myself. Yes.
I love that. And that means when
Yeah.
the tough things happen for you, that when you're taking care of yourself, and now here we are circling back to the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
the vitamin joy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the example that I always use, and I'm not going to take my socks off this time to show you. For my group sessions, I always wear Golden Girls socks. I got them on now. I light my Golden Girls candle. That's my vitamin joy. I'm going to ask folks here if you have participated in this up to this point. I would love for you to get into the chat and tell us all something that brings you joy. preferably cheap or inexpensive. You know, if you tell us that a cruise brings you joy, I mean, okay, that's great for you. You know what I mean? Like, give us something a little cheap. Like, you could go on a walk. You can take. Okay, okay, I love this. All right, so I'm going to open up the chat and I'm going to read this for
All right.
everybody here.
All right.
So I want to thank Brandy for telling people that my book is a really good book. Thank you. Maybe it'll bring a little bit of joy. Here we go. Kim says, picking fresh veggies and berries from our garden. I love that because that is absolutely one of those things that is just growing your own food. One of those wonderful, wonderful things. All right. Okay. Here we go. This doesn't make the easiest to do this. Scroll through. Okay. So Amber says, a walk in the woods. That is wonderful. Yes, a walk in the woods is great. The dorky look on my dog's face when we throw the ball. Thank you, Kim. Love that. Anne says flowers, crafts, and nature. Anne says walk the beach. Kathy says my great grandsons. Kim says my grandkiddos. Aaron says something that brings me joy, searching for heart shaped things. I see them everywhere. Once you start looking, you'll be like Josh, finding heart or four-leaf clovers everywhere. Okay. Actually, Aaron, I made one. I made a few of these in heart shapes. I was almost going to bring one. So, Princess says fresh lavender. Yes, fresh lavender is wonderful. Decorating for Christmas and my cats. Elizabeth says that. Okay. Anne says experiencing the Northern Lights, which is something that I've never experienced. I also want to go back to what Elizabeth says. Listen, Elizabeth, like Christmas, think Christmas in July. Okay. That doesn't hurt anybody. Okay. Browsing a farmer's market. Thank you, Louise. Browsing a farmer's market, doing something for someone that wasn't expecting anything. Thank you, Jody. Dancing and singing 80s tunes. Thank you, Jenny Sue. I love it. Johnny, taking pictures brings me joy. Yes, we all are pretty much walking around with cell phones. I think it's a good project for us all to walk around and take pictures of joy. All right. Nancy, my kitties and foster bunny, and my kids. I love how you put your kids second, Nancy. I love that. My kitties and foster bunny, and then my kids. Okay, I love it. Sarah says, sitting by the water, looking at the moon and stars. We got a full moon coming up on Thursday. Uh, Aaron is echoing the fresh lavender. Michelle says curtan, which is call and response singing. I've never heard of that. That's really cool. I'm glad that you have that. Thank you, Nancy. Enjoying my book, driving in my Jeep with the top off with favorite music. That's Crystal. All right, so Crystal, tell me, are you a Jeep ducky person? This is a new thing for me. I'm seeing Jeeps with ducks everywhere. Do you get the duckies in your Jeep? This is what I want to know. It's a weird thing. And I guess there's a Subaru thing too. Cows, maybe? I'm not sure what it is. All right. I love that Crystal has the ducks in her Jeep. That's great. That brings me a lot of joy just seeing it on the road. Goldina says, spending retirement with my wife and best friend. Yes, guys, we are on vacation. So here's the thing about this world that I've learned. There's random things that are going to happen to us. You know, when bad things befall us or our community or our world, it's not that we're being punished. And I think that a lot of people get that mixed up because a lot of folks think everything happens for a reason. I'm not somebody that thinks that. I do think that in this world, for this world to be what it is, there's something that I call the roulette wheel factor. There's sometimes the ball's going to land on red and sometimes it's going to land on black. That there are classes taught about statistics and chance, that sometimes bad things happen to good people, but they're not being punished. For instance, I think this is a really good lesson. Those poor children that got washed away in a flood in Texas, they were not being punished. They were the victim of the roulette wheel factor that this world has. Sometimes bad weather happens. We can't control it. We're not being punished. All we can do in a world that has random chance and circumstance is do our damnedest to protect ourselves from the weather, from the viruses, from the volcanoes, from the bears, from the wolves, all of it. I know it's rough to say, but if this vacation land that we're in didn't have danger, it would be boring and there would be no point. So there's just a lot to consider as we exist in this world. Now, I thought I was done, but here's something that's funny. I've got a man coming through too, and I love how he's ending with this. So again, another reading. I thought I was all done. Nope, somebody's knocking on my door. So here we go. Okay. So all right. I want to talk. Um, this man is giving me big teddy bear, big Santa Claus energy. I'm seeing race cars. He might have raced a car, or like I'm hearing the vroom, vroom, vroom. He might have watched racing NASCAR. Again, I'm getting proud of my daughter. You don't, the daughter might not necessarily be here, but there's something about somebody being like watching you be like, he's proud that you survived the worst things that have happened to you. When I hear that expression, survive the worst things that's happened to you, it's a divorce, betrayal, neglect, abandonment, abuse, all of those things. Um, and it's funny because there's some sort of like birth that you've gone through. He's watching you go through like creating a new life for yourself, creating a new version, not letting the bastards grind you down. You are the epitome of chin up buttercup. Who's got the race car Santa Claus guy? Who's got the Santa Claus, big teddy bear, big race car vibes? Unmute yourself or wave your hand so I can unmute you because he wants to give you a whole bunch of messages here. I'm hearing the race cars, the cars. Vroom, vroom. I'm seeing the numbers on the side of the cars. Like this is NASCAR, or he would have done like demo derby or race cars. He's talking about small children, a whole horde of small children. I think he's like watching a big family of small kids. Okay. Wave your hand and I will unmute you. This feels like you have survived something, like a disease or an illness. This feels like you would have survived something. Okay. Hi,
To-
Kathy.
Totally not sure, Josh. Um, my dad used to take me and one of my other sisters to car races.
Okay.
Um, the Christmas thing it was a special, really big deal for us as a whole family. And what was the
May I
other?
ask, did he have big teddy bear Santa Claus energy? Did he ever play Santa Claus? Did he have a big belly, big beard?
No, but I mean, we did everything. Christmas was Christmas Eve for us, and he was a big part of it.
Okay. I'll go with you if nobody else is picking up this spirit, but like, wait. Who is like, just stay with me, Kathy. Don't mute yourself yet. Okay. Stay with me. Okay. Who has like reinvented herself? Who has like survived an illness, survived a divorce, maybe moved, all of that, reinvented herself?
I had open heart surgery last year.
Okay. Survived a divorce, betrayal, all of that stuff.
No, just the major medical.
Just the major medical. Okay. Have you ever had your own business?
Yep.
You have. Okay. Um,
I see, sir.
I don't know why he's giving me big belly, big beard, Santa Claus vibes. Like I'm getting big teddy bear. But you can put the pieces together. Race car, Christmas, all of that. So bear with me here. Would he be a person that would have that like protector Santa Claus energy? Like if he's a
Protector,
dad and he's
absolutely. Yep.
celebrating Christmas with you. Okay. All right. Right. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna give this message to you like it's for you, Kathy. Okay. But it might be for somebody else too, or there might be like, because like a lot of times what happens, and you guys would be fascinated with the stuff that happens in the background for me, because I get a lot of people that message me and go, well, that was my person, but I didn't want to speak up. And I'm like, God damn it, why didn't you? You know what I mean? So there could very well be somebody here who doesn't want to like take this just for a number of reasons, and that's okay. Or this is somebody who jumped off and this man's trying to get in. Anyways, I'm going to give this to you. If you have survived the open heart surgery, and he was talking about surviving an illness, okay? He's also indicating that his daughter, now, do you have grandkids? Are there like little kids in this family at all that he's watching over? Okay. Oh, you
Yep.
said great grandkids, didn't you? You
Right.
said great grandkids, tiny ones. Okay. This has got to be for you.
And
Um,
one coming probably tomorrow, Thursday.
okay. Full moon. That would be interesting. That would be
Oh,
interesting to be
would be.
born. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Okay. Um, which would be interesting because that would make that person a Cancer born on a full moon, which should be a very powerful person. If the cancers and moons are all connected, all of that. All right. I believe, Kathy, from what I'm receiving from this spirit, that you are the epitome of chin up Buttercup. Okay. Keep your chin up. All right. Well, if you've survived the worst things that have happened to you, you know, if it wasn't personally your divorce or your betrayal, then you've seen other people survive it, or other awful things that you survived, including your open heart surgery, taking care of your great grandbabies. He's watching out over you. Here's the other thing too. Would you be able to, this might be like, the demo derbies at the fairs that they do,
Mhm.
like instead of like going to the racetrack and seeing like Loudon or big racetracks or stuff like that, you might want to consider bringing those kids to demo derby, fair time, something like that. You know what I mean? We have one locally here, so
Right.
do that. Also interesting, remember the Christmas traditions. So whatever Christmas traditions that you had with him, now, how fascinating is this? You're a great grandmother that's alive. He would be the great great grandfather. So you're kind of that pinch point in between the people that are above you and the people that are below you. So you're channeling the wisdom from the ancestors. You're passing it along to the people that are going to grow up in a very strange world. I think it's important to recognize that your wisdom, your heart, your resilience, even if you don't feel resilient, is more of an example than you think. So do you know the term imposter syndrome? So imposter
Mm,
syndrome is like feeling like a fraud, or feeling like people are going to figure you out, or like here's what I have to tell you is I think that you have an opinion of yourself, who you are, that is not truthful to how other people receive you and what you represent. Do you know how like you would carry around like fear and worry and anxiety and heartache and all of those things? Okay, think about what you represent to those great grandkids. You know what I mean? They're not going to know that you're a human being. You represent this archetype of great grandmother. You're not, they don't know that you're a human being walking around with fear and worry and anxiety and self-loathing and all of these things that all humans carry around. So it's important that you remember, the best word that I can come up with is how to imprint upon those people the heritage and the legacy and the values and the traditions. So, you've got a limited time in vacation land left. You know what I mean? Like we all do. So while you're here with great grandkids, grandkids, kids, what have you, it's more important to focus on those traditions, spending time with loved ones, telling people what they mean to you, creating memories, than it is to worry about how you never got it right, how you didn't get it right, how blah, 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 beating up on yourself, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Okay. So spend more time creating memories, cementing the traditions in for your loved ones that are here versus beating up on yourself unnecessarily.
I think this last year has taught me a lot.
Okay, wonderful. Great, great, great. Now teach others. You know what I mean? Teach others. Okay. No, he's circling back. He's telling me about Christmas traditions. He needs me to have you do these Christmas traditions, whatever they are. He's saying do them because they must have impacted you and other people in a way that can impact the lives of his descendants and your descendants.
I still
He's
do
telling
them.
me the Christmas stuff is more important than you realize.
I still do them. We still do the big meal. We still do the tree. We still do the stockings for everybody. We still do them.
Okay. You might want to walk down memory lane because I feel like there's something you might be missing.
Hmm.
Was there ever Christmas letters, Christmas cards? Were there ever things like that?
Oh, we used to make Christmas ornaments.
Christmas ornaments. Okay.
Yeah.
You might want to, there's something about like doing, he, this is what I need you to do. If you're doing a whole bunch of stuff like that, yeah, keep doing it. Okay. But he's talking about doing stuff that used to be done that's not being done anymore. So if you used to make Christmas ornaments, you might want to bring that back. You might want to talk with your siblings and go, "Hey, do you remember what we used to do for Christmas?" And then bring that to the family in a way that hasn't been brought in years.
So the last time my siblings, all of us, were together was the last year that both my parents were alive. You thinking maybe it's we redo that
The last time you and your siblings were together,
for
how
Christmas?
long ago was that?
1999. Both my parents passed away in 1999. That was the last time we
So
had Christmas together.
26 years ago was the last time you and your siblings were all together.
At Christmas, yes.
I don't think I need to say much more than that.
I think the message is received.
Okay. You can't control other people. You can't, pay their plane tickets. You can't get them to go. If that doesn't happen, think of the other traditions, and that is more important than you realize.
Mhm.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
I do want to circle back to this because this is important because we have to remember the basics and we can't overthink it and can't overcomplicate it. Every single person here on this call, 99.9% of the people in this world have people in spirit cheering them on, hoping that they can, I'll just say it in the frank way, pull their heads out of their ass and keep their chin up. We all have strength, we all have wisdom. And I think that if we focus on what the secret to life is, doing for ourselves what we would want somebody else to do, I think we can get through this. So I'm going to ask everybody this question here, okay? Because this is core to my work and core to what spirit wants me to do. Everybody do this for me. Don't say it out loud, but everybody think about what the biggest problem in your life is right now. What's the biggest problem in your life right now? Put that in your mind. Then I want you to think about what you would tell your daughter or your sister or your best friend to do with it. Put that in your mind, and that becomes your guiding light. You guys have to remember that you have the wisdom because you are made of love. I don't want to get too hokey here, but that's what your soul is made of. So I don't believe much else is going to work other than doing for yourself what you would have other people do. So remember that. Remember the power and the wisdom of your own heart tomorrow, the next day, 5 years from now, because nobody can take that from you. Nobody can give it to you because you were born with it. You were born as it, but nobody can take it from you. And I know that your hearts, your souls have so much wisdom and so much love. And I will end it with this. When we have to carry a burden for somebody we love, we find the strongest version of ourselves. When we have to solve a problem for somebody that we love, we find the smartest version of ourselves. And I know everybody here wants to be the strongest and smartest versions of themselves for their loved ones, for their family, for their community. Tapping into that love that you carry in your heart is the only way you'll find that strength and that wisdom through love. That being said, remember that it is a beautiful world. There's beauty everywhere. Y'all are beautiful. Your families are beautiful. This world is still beautiful no matter what is happening. And I want to let you know that tonight's show is sponsored by me. Thank you for being here. Okay. On the page where you would have gotten this Zoom link, there is a button for donations. So buy me a cup of coffee, help me pay for Zoom and all of the podcast stuff that I pay for. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything that you provide. And episode 27 will be coming along a week from this upcoming Sunday. So all my love to you. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you at the next one.